You know, I should have guessed it. When I saw those words come across my screen in the opening credits, a James Cameron film, I should have known what I was about to witness would be nothing short of cinematic excellence. And yet, somehow, someway, for the second time in my life, James Cameron has absolutely taken all of my thoughts, my ideas, what I completely thought I knew about creating cinematic excellence, and just completely blew my mind even more. I mean, my God. What a film. What an experience. I lie to you not, guys. I have nothing, not a single negative thing to say about this movie. This is the definition of not only peak cinema, but a masterpiece. This movie here is why movies are made in the first place. This movie here is why we love movies in general. This movie here does things that most movies can only dream of achieving. And I'm talking about more than just a movie made in 1986 and holding up in 2024. I'm talking about just completely breaking boundaries as far as what it means to be great, as far as director standpoint, what it means to make great movies. James Cameron just understands film. As far like he understands cinema. He understands what it truly means to make a movie. And I mean a great damn movie at that. Ladies and gentlemen, look. Like I said, I have nothing negative to say, so this is just going to be a complete rant about why Aliens is a masterpiece. And I promise you, I don't know how you guys feel about this movie, but I promise you, it is nothing short of a masterpiece. So let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review / rant on the movie Aliens and why I believe not only is it a cinematic masterpiece, but it is truly one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. I am not exaggerating that one bit. Look, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. From the moment I saw that movie as a child, I remember the day. I remember sitting on that couch. My mom said, look, I don't want to show you the first Terminator because Arnold's the villain, so let me show you the second one. And I was pissed off. Because why would I want to watch the second movie without watching the first? But she turned it on, and Judgment Day became one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life, and I thank her to this day for that moment. And I saw Terminator a lot later, but this is not about the Terminator. Look, I'm just letting you know, I never in my life did I think James Cameron would truly do the same thing he did or have the same impact he had on me that day. I never thought that feeling would be replicated, and yet here we are with Aliens. Now, is Aliens better than Terminator 2? If you were to think that, I'm not mad at you. Personally, I think Terminator 2 is just a little bit better, but I promise you they are neck and neck. They are right there, and Aliens is possibly my top 5 of all time now. I am truly just blown away by everything that I saw in this movie. And before I even get into all the good stuff, I was truly thinking to myself midway through this movie, I'm like, honestly, if I'm Ridley Scott, I'm either feeling one of two ways. I'm either like thoroughly pissed off because you just took everything that I did in this first movie that was amazing and you just completely turned it into just a big spectacle of awesomeness, and I would be pissed that I couldn't come up with shit like that. Or if I'm Ridley Scott, personally, I'm looking at what James Cameron did. I'm looking at the way James Cameron saw my movie, decided to take that, turn everything up by 10 notches, make everything just 12 times more awesome, and I'm just in awe. Honestly, Ridley Scott should be proud that somebody saw his film and turned it into what James Cameron made Aliens. It's one of the greatest films of all time. I lie to you not. It has everything you want. Action, intensity, thrills, chills. It has comedy. It's literally everything you are asking for from much more than just, it has summer blockbuster vibes, it has actual thriller vibes, it still has the horror aspects and elements to it. The storytelling is beautiful, and beyond that, for a movie that was made in 1986, for this thing to look as gorgeous as it does in 2024 is out of this world ridiculous. It holds up tremendously. It's beautiful, and this is the first time I'm ever watching this film. Like I said, I'm doing the build-up for Alien Romulus, and like going through the Alien movies. I've seen Alien earlier this year. I've seen Prometheus and Alien Covenant already, but before I seen Aliens. But look, I lie to you not. I don't have a single negative thing to say about this movie whatsoever. The first thing that I absolutely wanted to already give a standing ovation for, I don't know why, was literally the beginning of the movie when I find out that it's 57, that Ridley has been floating in space for 57 years. It has been 57 years since the last film, and I was like, wow. There's so much time between that. Like, nobody can really recall the events that happened to her because so much time has passed. And now she's sitting here trying to explain to everybody what's going on. They don't believe her. And now when they need her help, she's introduced to this ragtag, hard-ass, badass group of soldiers, or so they think. I mean, they are pretty badass for the most part, but they just think they're so hard. And she's trying to explain to them, there's something coming. And the entire time before we even introduced to a single xenomorph, there is just so much tension built and so much just intensity already happening in the film from the very beginning of the movie. And Ridley's literally having nightmares about the fucking alien coming out of her chest. She cannot get it out of her head that those things are still out there, and now there is an entire colony just of humans and family members. It's even the way she says after the meeting that she has with the entire company, the way they tell her, like, yeah, there are families and kids out there, and she's just like, families and kids? She's just completely traumatized by it. It's amazing. And I think it definitely enhances your watch if you watch the first Alien before this one, because what the first Alien did so perfectly was it was surrounded by a full just shroud of enigma and mystery, and you were really just trying to figure out what's going on. And like I said, Ridley Scott brilliantly used the environment of space to his advantage because it's so quiet in space. Literally, that's the tagline. It's like, it's so quiet in space, nobody can hear you scream. And Ridley Scott used that so beautifully in the first Alien movie. Like I said, James Cameron took everything that man did in that first film and amplified it by 1,000. And it was tremendous. It was absolutely ridiculous, everything that man did. I mean, I'm telling you, all these characters, all these soldiers are absolutely phenomenal. Bill Paxton stole the show. Bill Paxton, in a lot of his scenes, stole the show. I'm not necessarily sure if this is where game over, man, game over. I'm not sure if that's where this came, if this is the movie where that saying came from. But as far as I'm concerned, Bill Paxton played his role to an absolute T. It was awesome. I mean, so much fun. I mean, I'm telling you guys, for the entirety, I turned this movie on at almost 11 o'clock at night, and I saw the runtime. I was like, 2 hours and 17 minutes. Am I really going to be able to stay up for 2 hours and 17 minutes? I was locked in the entire fucking time. Not a single second was wasted because James Cameron knew what his mission was, and the mission, as far as I'm concerned, was overly completed. He passed with flying colors. I mean, my God. Sigourney Weaver as Ridley, phenomenal. Bill Paxton was probably my favorite part of this movie, but Sigourney Weaver as Ridley was tremendous. And the other thing I have to shout out, the other female character, Vasquez, girl had some guns on her, and she was badass. I really enjoyed just the dynamic between all the characters in this movie, how all these soldiers are so overly confident, so eager to get into battle, so eager to kill one of these aliens and show them how just tough they are. And Ridley, and you and Ridley, like I said, if you've seen the first movie, it enhances your watch with Aliens. Ridley the entire time is like, y'all are so excited to get yourselves killed. These things can wipe us out easily. You're not understanding. And that entire notion, or that entire just stigma, moves the movie forward the entire time. And then once these soldiers actually meet these xenomorphs, it changes the dynamic a little bit. They still have to be very tough and try to survive, but it becomes more so of like a nervous, panicky type feeling. And like I said, that's where Bill Paxton got an opportunity to shine, because he played that so perfectly. He played that role tremendously, and I'm freaking out over here, guys. This, like I said, this is the literal definition of a masterpiece. I mean, from every single technicality standpoint that you need to make a movie, this thing is perfection. I don't find a single thing wrong with this movie whatsoever. The character Newt, I thought she was an amazing addition. I thought what James Cameron did to continue Ridley Scott's legacy in the first Alien, I thought he carried over the mystery of it. I thought he carried over what made these things terrifying, and I thought he just made everything bigger and more action-packed. In his most James Cameron-fashioned way, he made one of the greatest sequels I've ever seen in my life. Right next to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This man is ridiculous. I mean, look, it's not like I'm sitting here talking about just some run-of-the-mill director. We're talking about James Cameron. Everybody knows James Cameron, but this is my first time ever being truly introduced to, well, not my first time ever being truly introduced to James Cameron, because like I said, Terminator 2 Judgment Day and The Terminator, but it's just, this is a whole, I just feel like this is truly like a different level of just ridiculous directing that we're seeing from James Cameron here, man. I mean, this dude truly locked in on a different level and took a lot of the stuff that the first movie introduced and just really built on it, and it made it so much more fun. Like, one thing I loved about this movie was the use of the alien blood. Like, of course, we know in the first movie we see that it's acid, but they use it in a lot more fun and creative ways in this movie. Like when they're fighting, when a lot of the soldiers are fighting the aliens and they think they're killing it, and they're really, and it's almost ready to die, once it starts bleeding and it gets on them, they get injured too, and they're screaming, It's just, wow. I'm truly hoping this man makes this Avatar franchise, by the end of it, one of the greatest franchises of all time, because you know movies, bro, and I was ridiculed the other day because I have not seen Titanic. So by the time I see Titanic, yes, I have not seen Titanic. Look, it's a 4-hour movie, guys. I love movies very much, but to take time to sit down and for 4 hours and watch an entire movie, where honestly, if you watch a lot of movies, Titanic is referenced in a lot of shit. So it's like, I damn near have seen the movie already, but I will take the time to see Titanic, and I'll probably be making another video about how James Cameron, once again, completely just shocked me, shock and awe. That's all this guy is doing when he gets in that director's chair. His mission is shock and awe, and he completed it, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, with flying colors. The intensity in this film, from beginning to end, has you on the edge of your seat. And it's for various different reasons, man. It's for, like I said, in the beginning, if you've seen the first Alien movie, you know the stakes from the very jump. You know what they are going to be facing, and you cannot wait for them to actually see these xenomorphs so they can stop acting like they're so confident and cocky and think they can take these things on. And then from then on, once you see these xenomorphs, there are just more, and it just gets bigger than the action. And honestly, it's on a much more, the set of this movie is on a much more broader scale as well. I mean, there's just so much more. It's like playroom. It's like a big alien playground that they have here, and it's just awesome. It's amazing. It's astounding, spectacular, magnificent, whatever other word I can use to describe what Aliens was and the effect it had on me. It was that and so much more, man. It was absolutely ridiculous. Literally all the way to the end of this movie. By the end of this movie, watching the mother xenomorph, or the queen xenomorph, however you want to describe it, she looked amazing. And like I said, the technical effects, the special effects, everything, even from the big giant little robot thing, or whatever you want to call that, the big giant little robot that Ridley was able to take over and use and fight the xenomorph. It literally has everything. And then one thing I truly loved, and I'll just talk about like multiple scenes that I loved. One scene that I really loved is when they were first discovering the aliens and they told them that they couldn't fire their guns in there because if they do, it's gonna like shake the ship and kind of just like blow it up, and that create like they were stakes on top of stakes on top of stakes on top of stakes. Like this movie never really gave you time to rest and relax. It was always tension going on. It was always some intensity being built, even if it was just a little bit of it. It was always something going on to keep you absolutely engaged in every aspect of this film. This is the easiest 5 stars I may have given a film in, probably say, since Across the Spider-Verse. Easiest 5 stars. It was the quickest. The movie was literally 5 stars 10 minutes in. Like, not, I'm lying to you not. It literally started that great and it never went down one bit. It only ever intensified. And if you're a lover of storytelling, if you're a lover of sci-fi, action, adventure, comedy, horror, thriller, it has all those elements in here to make one gigantic, action-packed fucking thrill ride of a movie. Another scene I absolutely adored and I thought was an absolute gorgeous sequence was essentially, it's like the scene where Newt is basically trying to show them a certain part of the ship and they're trying to like run and evade the xenomorphs, and it's like this infrared stuff is happening around them, and I mean not infrared, but the colors are red, and they're running through the ship and they're trying to evade the xenomorphs and they're trying to escape, and then Vasquez and one of the other soldiers, I think it was Bill Paxton's Hudson, they have to stay behind and, you know, do what they have to do. And well, actually, no. Yeah, Bill Paxton was a part of that scene too, but Hudson wasn't the one that was sitting with Vasquez. I don't think so. But like I said, I can't stop thinking about this movie, guys. I truly hope if you are going to see Alien Romulus this weekend and you've never seen Aliens, or if you see Alien Romulus first and then you go treat yourself to Aliens, I think, or Alien and Aliens, I think either way, however you watch these movies, at some point you should watch Aliens because it is a absolute masterpiece. The literal definition. It is everything you want from a movie, from an entertainment standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint, from a performance standpoint. Like I said, every single character in this movie plays their role tremendously. Even though I gotta find out who played the black soldier, Sergeant Apone, Al Matthews, or no, it might have been Private Frost. Yeah, Rico Ross. Yeah, it might have been him. Whoever. I mean, had one of the best lines in the movie, talking about when he woke up, you know, talking about, yeah, I love the Corps, flexing, they just, army guys, you know, just acting so tough. And I actually was a big fan of the synthetic, what do they call it, the synthetic AI guy, Bishop, they called him. Yeah, he was a real good character in this movie because, you know, Ridley's distrust from the very beginning because of what happened in Alien. That, like I said, the stakes from this movie just continued to keep stacking on top of each other, and it just made for what I can only describe as peak cinema. An absolute cinematic masterpiece. Aliens is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, and I truly encourage everyone, if you've never seen this movie, to go do so. And I will be sure to see Titanic as soon as I can, and as soon as I have 4 hours to sit down and watch Titanic, I will do so. But as far as I'm concerned, like James Cameron's Aliens, it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life, guys. So I need you guys, if you've never seen it, go do that immediately. And if you're going to see Alien Romulus this weekend, if you've never seen Aliens, do so. And if you have seen Aliens, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the movie itself. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. Look, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.